Hello everyone, welcome to another motovlog on my channel. My name is Marshall3498. Today's motovlog is going to be like my channel usually is most of the time. It's going to be motorcycle related as a whole. And with today's motovlog, what I'd like to talk about is there's a new class of motorcycle that I discovered. I've ridden one of them and I rode an updated version of is the whole middleweight adventure touring. When I say adventure touring, I mean an adventure on-road bike, just an adventure style, not adventure off-road. I recently rode the Yamaha Tracer GT at a Yamaha demo ride a couple months ago. Sorry, they would not let me film there. That's Yamaha's new rule. Whatever. So I couldn't really show y'all all about it. So it's really a class of bike, I think, now that bridges the gap between a full-on like sport touring bike like FJR or BMW GS or whatever you want to classify as a big CC sport touring bike, in your opinion. But I will say this. I rode a 17 model Yamaha FJ09, and then, like I said, I recently rode what is now the Tracer GT. There is no more FJ09. They're the same bike. There's a Tracer GT and a regular Tracer. Main difference is in the GT is you get a whole slew of already added on from the factory, already out of the box touring things. Most of them I can remember off the top of my head. If I miss a few, sorry. But revised, the Tracer GT, what it comes with, its touring equipment is a quick shifter, a TFT display, which is the same one borrowed from the R1. But you know, Yamaha already had it in the parts bin, so can't hate them on that. It's a good display. It you know, it's seems a little small. Some of the fonts, because there's a lot going on, you know, so to speak. But it's a good display and it's clear enough, and even in bright sunny day like I was riding it, it's perfectly readable. Once you got used to the fact of where everything was and looking at it colored versus, you know, like this analog tack and a digital speedometer, it'd be perfectly fine. No problems there whatsoever. But like I said, TFT, quick shifter, Yamaha revised the riding position a little bit and redesigned some of the front little side nose fairing. The bars are much narrower than the previous FJ09 that I rode, and it comes in fact with hard cases, painted to match. I don't know if it comes with the bagliners or not. It probably does, because the FJR comes with the bagliners already, so I'm guessing it does. It's a 22-liter bag. Sadly, it's what Yamaha calls their city saddlebags for people who can actually lane split. It's mainly for the overseas market, is what the Yamaha rep told me at the demo day I rode it at. But you can make it into a 30-liter side case by just changing the hinge mechanism, the door. The Tracer's door is flat, where the Yamaha door pops out a little bit, and that's where you get your 30 liters from. So there's always an option. Of course, it would really suck to buy a brand new bike and spend $500 on to make the saddlebags a little bigger, but that's your choice to do. Whatever. The windshield has, like, right here, like God, what's the name of it? The Ducati Multistrada. It's got a little button right here that you pull in, and it's 2 settings up and down that you can do with your left hand on the fly, even at speed, no problem. I don't know if you could do it on the interstate because of wind blowing on it, but on a back road, no problem. Heated grips are already installed and work through all the menu stuff on the bike. What else? I know there's a couple of other things. Oh, yeah, the Tracer GT, the suspension setup has been revised. It's a little bit longer swing arm. And I have to tell you, I was riding down a little back road like this. It had a lot of bumpy sections. It felt really planted, really stable. Sucked up all the bumps without feeling floaty. Didn't feel harsh. Oh, that's another thing that reminds me about suspension. The Tracer GT, the touring model, the suspension is fully adjustable on the front forks for compression and rebound, but the back is only preload adjustable. That's one thing you get over the base model Tracer, not the Tracer GT. But it really bridges the gap, like I said, to find that fine line between lightweight sport touring and full-on touring like FJR. And it's quite a bit cheaper than FJR. I think full retails on them is 13 from the factory, and FJR ES is like 18 full retail. So pretty big money difference. You know, I myself, I'm gonna be purchasing a new bike within the next little over a year, and if I didn't want to get away from chain drives, that is the exact bike I would buy. It's the one I rode had the Yamaha touring windshield on it, which is much taller and wider than the factory one. And I'll have to say, with it in the fully up position, doing like 55, it's really close to how good the wind protection is on FJR with that touring windshield. It really worked well. You know, another option of this, at least, you know, like I said, it's a really nice bike. It's ABS front and rear, 3 rider modes, 2 levels of traction control and off, and that's another thing the Tracer GT has that the regular one doesn't, is now, because it's throttled by wire, it has cruise control, which is a game changer, because not a whole lot of bikes in that $13,000 venture sport touring, you know, say 11 to 14,000, not all of them have cruise control. They really don't. The Triumph 800, fantastic bike, Triumph Tiger 800. It does have cruise as well. If the bike, the Tracer GT, wasn't chain drive, that I'm kind of getting tired of doing chain maintenance for. Not that it's a big deal, but it is kind of annoying, you know. It seems like every time I put a lot of miles on the bike, it's time to do the chain again. Whatever. You know, there's a lot of people out there who prefer chain drives. You know, I myself, I'm just kind of getting sick of the chain maintenance. I guess I'm a little too lazy about it. Whatever. But, you know, it comes with good rubber front and rear. It's a 120 front, 17-inch diameter, 180 rear, 17-inch diameter. You know, pretty much your standard 600cc and up sport bike-ish rubber setup. They're fantastic bikes. If anybody's looking for that type of bike, there's nothing wrong with the Versys 650 either. You know, but I just think like that the Versys is a little bit outgunned as far as the features it does not come with, versus like the Tracer GT and the Triumph 800. You know, there's a $3,000, maybe $4,000, depending on if you get one leftover year model of it, and even like a V-Strom too. They're just they're not quite as advanced as far as all the rider aids and stuff as the Triumph Tiger and the Tracer GT. They're just not. There's nothing wrong with other bikes, but you know, it's kind of like what you say. You know, you get what you pay for. Well, when you pay $3,000 or $4,000 less than a bike new, that's what you get. You get a few less bells and whistles and stuff. And on motorcycles, as those of you ride, that stuff does get very expensive in a hurry. So it's just, you know, it's like, you know, if you want all the nice stuff, you just got to pay for it. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But like I said, if those of you who are interested in a middleweight bike and have not rode that yet, I highly recommend riding a Tracer GT if you can get a hold of one at a demo day where you live. Fantastic bikes. I haven't got to ride a Triumph 800 Tiger, the road version, not the more off-road focused version, but I would like to one of these days. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up riding one at a demo day maybe next year or something, just to see what the difference is. I think they're probably pretty close, about the same bike for the most part. You know, they're based, you know, off the same, you know, kind of adventure road touring bike, and I think either one would be a good choice. But I'm a Yamaha fanboy, so I think the Tracer one would be a fantastic option for the idiots out there. And that little 300 900 triple in that Tracer, fantastic little motor, hardly any vibration, really smooth linear power. It's just an awesome little motor, and I'm sure those of you who have FZ09 know exactly what I'm talking about. Same motor, just the FZ09 is the naked version. So that's about all I got on today's motovlog, guys. I just thought I'd like to talk about a new exciting class of motorcycles that I rode not too long ago that I really haven't talked that much about. So on that, guys, ride safe, have fun. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment down below. And we'll see you.